for the absolute love of family. That's why we are here this evening. Good evening and welcome. This is Connect, your family live show, brought to you by Spectrum Television. I am yours truly, Uyai MM. And it's a good day to be alive, and it's a good day to come and talk love, relationship, what's happening with our babies. You know, all those kind of things I would like to talk about on Connect. Yes, that's who we are. That's what we're doing. I'm excited because not only is today's episode a bumper harvest, like it is the bomb, because the guests that we have, they are superb. You know those, power couples, and then, relationship coach, like all of the, I mean, it's celebrity. So I brought you all a celebrity in the field of marriage and relationship today. So it's going to be hard. Hang in there. But we'll bring you trending videos. This week we did not have a trending question because we want to give you opportunities to actually ask our guests questions about anything. They are that good, actually. So it's going to be a really, really beautiful show today. I have two strong videos we'll be sharing with you today, and some other online conversations that we'll just be having. So in a moment, we'll take a quick breather. When we return, we'll be diving into the conversation on Connect this evening. Stay tuned.
When it comes to parenting, suspect everybody. Suspect the person taking care of the child, suspect the teacher in school, suspect all those that have access. You see, the moment you stop being suspicious, you are lowering your guard. Sometimes just break into, the place where they maybe the nanny, the school, check. Permit me to use this word. There are funny people out there who will do many things to children. Let me share this with you. There was a boy. He has been expelled from 3 schools at that age. So what he does is that when girls are leaving the class, going to toilet or ease themselves, he'll follow them. Then he'll start touching their genitals. Some of them are bold enough to come back to report. Sometimes the teachers will catch him, then they will expel him. And the teachers were complaining that even if you are flogging this boy, as you are flogging him, you will notice that your money is missing. Yes, right there. He's become so much of an expert that before you are done, your money is gone. He will remove the money. And he won't cry. In this case, what is going on? This, that. Let me handle this boy's case. So I went to his house to see his parents. When I got to the house, I knocked. Nobody was answering. I knocked. So I saw that the door was not locked. So I opened. The family I knew. So I opened. Then I met the boy. I met the 2 elder brothers seated. And in front of them, a large television where they were watching pornography. Any work that takes you away from your children has taken too much from you. When it comes to parenting, suspect everybody. Suspect the person taking care of the child, suspect the teacher in school, suspect all those that have access. You see, the moment you stop being suspicious, you are lowering your guard. Sometimes just break into, the place where they maybe the nanny, the school, check. Permit me to use this word. There are funny people out there who will do many things to children. Let me share this with you. There was a boy. He has been expelled from 3 schools at that age. So what he does is that when girls are leaving the class, going to toilet or ease themselves, he'll follow them. Then he'll start touching their genitals. Some of them are bold enough to come back to report. Sometimes the teachers will catch him, then they will expel him. And the teachers were complaining that even if you are flogging this boy, as you are flogging him, you will notice that your money is missing. Yes, right there. He's become so much of an expert that before you are done, your money is gone. He will remove the money. And he won't cry. In this case, what is going on? This, that. let me handle this boy's case. So I went to his house to see his parents. When I got to the house, I knocked. Nobody was answering. I knocked, so I saw that the door was not locked. So I opened. The family I knew. So I opened. Then I met the boy. I met the two elder brothers seated, and in front of them a large television where they were watching pornography. Any work that takes you away from your children has taken too much from you.
I mean, I don't know how to celebrate the kind of quality family content that we bring you on Connect. I don't know how to celebrate that, but if you are a lover of this particular program as much as I am, I'd absolutely love for you to go to the comment section of Connect on SpectrumTVLive.ng. You can get on our website, you can get on Instagram, and just comment your love for Connect and also the quality of programs that we bring and also the guest, because I mean, look at that clip that you just watched. There's a lot to talk about, but I won't even try to go into it because I have quality people to deal with it this evening. Any job that takes you away from your children is taking too much from you. From this generation that all of us are career people. Well, it's a lot of conversation to have this evening, and I am so excited to do the honors because my guests, they're live, joining us from Lagos this particular evening, and it's such a great delight to bring to your screens as you see that watch us on your tablets or your phones, however you're watching this. Ladies and gentlemen, dear family people, I would say Apostle and Apostle Mrs. Alison Hyacinthe. They're joining us this evening from Lagos. Good evening, and I will say man and woman of God. TV Live, please forgive me, but man and woman of God, good to have you on the show this evening.
Good evening, Apostle Ted. Thank you for having us for this pleasure.
Oh dear, it's so good to share the wealth of both of you to the rest of the world this evening. And you look really beautiful.
Thank you.
Well done. So there's a lot of things we are going to talk about, and I really love, an engaging conversation where family life is concerned. We've already played one video, but that's like on a more serious side. I'll play a funny video, get your reactions, and then we'll delve right into the conversation this evening. All right, so we have this video talking about family life, of course. Please, producer, let's have that second video. Thank you.
What are the countries that we see in marriage and how
Oh, the audio of this is not
why would she wear jeans trouser to sleep? When Bible said, lift up your head, all ye gates, what are you talking about? As they ye lifted up ye everlasting doors, so that the King of glory
The
can
audio
come.
is bad for a moment, so fix that and we'll bring it back up in a moment because I can't even explain what's in the video. So we'll fix the audio and bring it back on. But yes, let's meet Mr. and Mrs. Alison Hyacinthe. Well, I followed Uncle Alison when I was single. Then we used to hear of Auntie Choco. So today we now have Uncle Alison and Auntie Choco available on live television this evening. How has life been? How has marital, journey been in this past few years that has been married? Auntie Choco, please take us through it.
It's been beautiful. It's been awesome. One of the things I love to say is that being in courtship only gives you I think it gives you the atmosphere of enjoying love in convenience. But being married now brings you to a stage of loving via sacrifice.
Wow.
Yes. When the first clip was playing by Pastor Ferry, I was just smiling because truthfully, you're not doing too much as a parent. I mean, there's this instinct every mother has. I just want to take care of my child. I don't want to do this. My husband knows once we step out of the house, the next thing I'm doing is I'm calling again. What's going on? Is it life? Is it this? Is it this? I'm just making sure because you can never do too much when trying to raise toddlers, when trying to preserve a generation, when trying to correct a pattern, when trying to put things in place. You can never do too much. So for this past 4 going to 5 years, I'm saying yes, we've seen what marriage should be. We've seen what marriage looks like. And beautifully enough, this is not me trying to brag. God has been everything. And I really want to thank God for that.
Yeah, because something you just said, I think it's a major concern in the dispensation that we live in, especially with the exposure to social media. A lot of people are losing faith in the institution of marriage because, like, marriage is not just lasting. What's the use of all this thing we are doing? So I know that, you know, both of you are very, very strong relationship coaches, and I don't know how you handle these kinds of issues. Like, people marry a year, they are gone. Some even 2 months, they're divorced. Is there really hope where marriage is concerned? Should we still really be looking forward to getting married, Uncle Allison?
Yes, we should actually. Unfortunately, the ones who are being loud are the ones who are the marriages that are not working. That is just the unfortunate thing, I tell you. Because they are very good marriages. Our marriage is an example of that. They are very good marriages. I can tell you, if you're watching, don't be discouraged, don't be disappointed, don't feel disadvantaged. You know, marriages are working, marriages are thriving, they are happy couples. The awkward thing is that you don't get to see the thriving marriages on TV. You don't get to see the happy homes on the internet. You only get to hear about the unfortunate few that are not working, and that's the truth. The unfortunate few, you know, hide my identity. My husband is beating me. My husband is cheating on me. My wife is disrespectful. My in-laws. They're just the unfortunate few, and the world has so magnified the unfortunate few and made it so loud that the happy majority are not being heard. The happy majorities are not being seen, and that is just the irony of this whole thing. There are marriages who are beautiful marriages, but you will see them kiss on TV. But then, when a man raises his hands on his wife, you will see it all over the internet. But when a man kisses his wife, you will never see it. You see what I'm saying there?
So should the happy majority do more with regards to putting out, you know, some reasonable quarter of their happy marriages out?
Yes, we need to project more. There is a saying that I love. I love using this quote even in counseling so much. That the easiest way, or rather the best way to correct a bad impression is to teach that person by a good impression. The best way to erase a bad memory is to create new ones. The best way to correct doctrine or teaching or false teaching is to teach the right thing. So the best way to expunge or move all of this negativity in our marriages away from the screen, away from the center focus, is for those who are having good thriving marriages to put themselves out there even more. They are homes that are working, but they are not projecting. They are not speaking up. They are not mentoring other people. They are not mentoring other homes. They are not mentoring other singles. They hide my identity. I'm a baby mama. Those are the ones that are mentoring singles who are coming into the marriage ministry, who are coming into the field of ministry. But those who are having a thriving, happy homes, they are not taking mentors, mentees under their wings. They are not taking the young ones under their wings. They are not projecting. They go on vacations. They are having a nice time. You don't see them on TV. But we quite understand why. Anyway, because if anything is golden, you have to protect it to the best of your ability. So, but I still think that to a certain reasonable degree, homes, couples who are having a thriving marriage, I just gave some insight. One of the ways to really put your home out there as a light on the hill is to take younger ones under your wings as mentees. Mentor them, teach them, join small groups in your offices, at your in church, wherever you can find single people, join small groups so that you can inspire them by the practicality of your own marriage. And then let your voice also be loud, even on the social media space. When they are talking down, make sure you are talking hard. All right.
Oh, these are really strong things, because in the age of social media is literally teaching us how to marry, and sometimes we have the wrong examples. So still talking about, the happy majority making their marriages loud. There is also this concern. Sometimes if you watch some statistics that interpret algorithms about the things we share on social media, there are reports of, be careful so that you don't expose your life, your family to negative forces and all of those things. Would you think that, this is also a concern? And you know how sometimes people are like, these people that are happy in their marriage, yeah, we'll go and do something to them. So these are some of the concerns why people like to keep their marriages under hush hush.
That is it. You are very correct. The village people syndrome, right?
Yeah.
The moment you expose your baby bump, you may not have the child. If you expose your happy marriage, you may tell her, babe, you've heard about that. What do you think?
Of course, I've heard about it. I've heard about it. You see, most times I think it's the African fear mentality.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a fear mentality. I know you're trying to protect your marriage. You're trying to do one or two. Before one of the things you said that I wanted to hit immediately is that the devil just knows how to magnify sin. He knows how to magnify the wrong thing. Okay, because even the people who are talking things and saying things about bad marriages, and they have to prove their thing that is good. But you see, a generation where they are so materialistic, okay, young people now, they would rather prefer material to peace. Do you understand? They don't want to walk in the way, this is a good man. They don't want to walk in that way. Their parents have suffered so much, so a girl doesn't want to suffer again in that house. So I'm not magnifying that if you're going through suffering. Do you understand? But I'm saying, what is their driving purpose? What do they call a good marriage now is vacation.
Yeah.
What they call it, yes, that's their definition of this is the kind of marriage I want. What they call it a good marriage now is the fact that he can surprise me, he can buy me a car, he can build me a house, he can do all of these things. But marriage is more. Marriage is not just about the two persons who are coming together. It's about the generation that is coming through them. Because it says go multiply. After a union, multiplication takes place. And multiplication takes place through the kind. And the kind that is better now is based on what you have received from environment, what you've received from religion, what you've received from career, what you've received from everything. So if I'm betting my kind as a Christian, I know I'm betting Christian children. And so that is where work comes in. So it's just that most persons have magnified or chosen the kind of marriage they want. And so you find them doing it outside the confines of Christ.
Okay. So we threw out questions on social media, and we were taking do you want to ask, the higher Cinthos any question? And one of the responses we got is about situationships. So, and then there's this new trend of talking stage. We are talking, hello dear, yes dear, how are you? You're talking 2-3 months, and before you know it, you're in a situation, and you're not quite sure what's going on here. And then there was a social media post that also said that 2020 dating in 2024 is very, very tough. And I think those two, go hand in hand, situationships and dating in the current, dispensation. What's your word? I know you engage people every now and then. Is it really tough to date now? And how can people navigate out of situationships? And how can you even recognize that this thing that we are starting is leading us to a situationship?
Yeah, I think it's more complicated in this generation, in this dispensation, like you said, because the wrong things are being magnified so much. The wrong things are being they are so loud that it drowns the right things. It's just the problem. The wrong things have become so loud that the right things get drowned in the wrong things. Okay, so an average single person who's ready for marriage doesn't even know the principles of marriage, doesn't even understand the principles of submission, principles of provision, principles. I mean, we have small groups or a small single group, and a discussion broke out last night when we were having a singles conversation. And guess what? It's a lady went out on a date, a Christian date with a guy at a restaurant, and then the guy made her pay the bill on the first date. Second date, the guy also made her pay the bill, and then she got up, told him off, got up and left. So you can see that men these days, the magnitude, the degree of, for lack of a better word, manhood is slowly diminishing in the brotherhood. That's how I say it. Okay, the strong men, strong mentality, strong woman mentality, the caretaker mentality, the nurturer mentality is just slowly fading out of our Christian circle, slowly fading out of our society. So now it's even becoming more difficult because the wrong things are being magnified to a large degree that people cannot identify the right things anymore. The wrong people are speaking so loud that the right people who are speaking are not being heard. And guess what? In our society now, any spectrum, any society, any association, or any sector or area who is making the loudest noise is the sector who controls. Is the voice who controls that sector. It happens even in the entertainment industry, even in the Christian circles. Anyone making the loudest noise is seen as being right. He's seen as having an authority. He's seen as having an opinion, strong major opinion. So nowadays people don't even know what a good man looks like, what a good woman looks like. People don't even know what to expect in a man or a woman during the period of courtship and all. We are just like my wife said, just entangled in a whole lot of situationships and a whole lot of web. And when people come into marriage, that is when they get to realize that, come on, I think I settled for the wrong person because I didn't really do my homework. So yes, it's more difficult these days. This is why mentorship is very important. This is why single people who are desiring marriage should listen to the right people who have results, people who are modeling after the kind of marriage that they are desiring for. People who, sometimes I tell the major undoing of a lot of singles in our society is who they follow, even on social media. Who they follow. Check out average single influencer on social media. Yeah, I don't want to call names because they're on TV, but you understand what I'm saying. Hide my identity pages, somebody slap me pages, all men are scum pages, all women are not submissive pages. And when you taking all of that mindset, they begin to form your reality. They begin to form your perspective and your actions as well. As a man thinketh, so he is. And the scripture says that faith comes by hearing. The same way doubt comes by hearing as well. Yeah. Fear comes by seeing. Wrong mindset also comes by hearing. So singles need to really filter who they are listening to, find a mentor, stay under strong accountability structure, and learn the right thing.
So Mrs. Hyacinth, so how can ladies especially recognize when they are on the path to a situationship? Because sometimes you just think, okay, this guy is a nice guy, he's talking to me, maybe it will lead somewhere. Let me give him a month, 2 months. But before you realize years have gone down the line, and you're saying, in your mind, you're like, I have a man, but this man is looking elsewhere, and you don't know. How can people recognize this cycle?
I love this question so much. Just yesterday, I was talking about discovering yourself before going into a relationship. Because when you do, you will recognize time wasters. You will do. Because once you discover yourself, you know what you want, not what you want from the other person. Because most times our eyes are fixed on what we want from the other person, not what we want to be to the other person. So I know what I want. I know that this is my strife, this is my strength, this is where I'm heading to. There is no how in conversation of 6 months I will not know that this guy is wasting my time. Especially if he was the one that came into the picture of saying, will you be my girlfriend? Let's say we started building, so friendship is very important. Once you start building friendship, there is no how you will not know some things. Start off from being friends before walking into a relationship. Most of the problem we have right now is people are accepting to be girlfriends just by attending nightclubs. People are accepting to be girlfriends just by being departmental classmates. People are accepting to be girlfriends just because they met at work. No friendship foundation. They just walk into love and they work via attraction. And attraction is a very wrong tool for discernment. You cannot use attraction and say this is my person because it's going to mess you big time. So people end up staying in situationships because the guy came and since you, and most times this will happen mainly on ladies, lack of discernment. We are Christians, and I'm going to say lack of understanding what God also wants for you in your marriage. Don't want to do relationship. People are not doing relationship because it is, I am 25, I am 26, so I'm okay to start dating.
Yeah.
I'm 28, so it's okay for me to start dating. I'm 29, so it's okay for me. So it's like we do not prepare. If you want to go to school, tests are being done now. You prepare, you write exams, they admit you. But for marriage, it's like two adults who are of age to get married, just trying to do things, and if it doesn't work, they stay that way. So the reason why most ladies have found themselves in situationships, one, just maybe they have not discovered themselves. Because if they do, you will know when a man is wasting your time. And you're not going to beat around the bush, sit there and waiting and wearing lots of the ring, friendship ring, engagement ring for 10 years, for 7 years, and you're just there. The person is confused. The person is sharing future. And see, always learn to back up your conversation with action. It's what this person is saying today. Is it the same thing the person is doing tomorrow? If the person is saying he wants to save $1 million before the end of this year, has he even achieved 800,000? Some persons are so good with words, but yet they do not back those words with action. This should be your first sign to know that the person is not serious. Because why are you even having conversation when this person is saying I want to work, I want to build the future with you, and the only conversation you're having is did you breathe today? Did you drink water? Because most times this is what is causing all of this thing. If you start having meaningful conversation that will push you, that will make you see to it that are you really a serious person, you will begin to know if this relationship is heading north or is heading south. You will know as a woman. And most women, the reason why they're entangled in situationships is fear of the unknown. They just have this fear that if I come out of this matter, who will see me? Where will I start from? How will I start? What will I start doing? Who will start loving me at this age and all of it? Just fear of the unknown. People who have not discovered themselves are those who are always trapped, very trapped in things like that.
Self-discovery is really key. Oh, okay. I feel like, you know, when you're listening and then you feel like you want to bring out your notepad and just be writing down some things. Because, I mean, self-discovery, and we are older, so let's just start dating. Okay, but Uncle Allison, you know, your wife has talked about the role of women, but a lot of times it looks like men don't even know what they want. So they too are going to lead a woman on, hold that down until they now decide that, it's not Rachel that I actually want. I like the way that Evelyn rolls. So, and it looks like we have a lot of it's like our men are now noodles. You know, they want to be instant. They're not ready for anything serious. Please talk to the men because they're giving us too much trouble on the streets.
I think a serious man knows what he wants. That's the thing. And I say it all the time. Most men are just spoiled for choice. They're just spoiled for choice because they don't believe in intentional seeking or searching for a spouse. They don't believe in it because ladies are everywhere. You can just walk into the park now and find a lady. You can walk into even there are single ladies now in the museum. I'm telling you. So you don't even need to struggle to do any finding or seeking. Just walk into the museum, you see ladies, walk into the store, walk into a restaurant, walk into a shop right now. You can. So, but then, you know, it's looking more like a 10 women to 1 man, you know, ratio, and then which is not really helping. So all of these things have conditioned men to not be intentional cheaters. Why? Because they believe that when they are ready, they can have any woman they want. a man, a mature man who is able to get married once told me that he is not interested in building, that women are the ones who are supposed to equip themselves for marriage because they need the equipping to be able to keep their husband. So in other words, he's not ready to read a book, to attend a conference, to take one therapy or the other, to attend any seminars to improve and advance. He's not ready for all of that. But he knows that when he's ready to find a wife, when he's ready for a wife, there are women everywhere and he can woo and just marry. And now that is the cause of, that's one of the major reasons why we are having so much dysfunctional marriages in our generation today, because we have women who are prepared for men who are not equipped. That is just the problem. Most women, if you go to religious houses where they are praying for marriages, you see more women. If you attend, my wife and I, we are currently hosting a 3 weeks camp for singles. We have over 1,000 plus singles in there, but guess what? The women are more. The women are the ones telling the classes, the women are the ones taking all the tasks, but the men are relaxed, besides a few who are really intentional about making it right, about getting it right in their marriage. So it is just a matter of men being spoiled for choice. They are not willing to invest in themselves and put in the work, and this is why they are careless about their choices, and that is why we have so many broken down marriages. Because the women are ready, the women are equipped, the women have been prepared, they have been schooled, and you know, this schooling didn't start when the women came of age. It started when the ladies were still young. You know, when they're still babies, you need to learn how to cook. You need to stay in the kitchen with your mom. You need to learn how to do that. You need to learn how to take out the babe, learn how to even do daddy's laundry. You see, but what are the men? What have the men been trained to do? You know, what have just a few? Just a few. So all of that has constituted the reason why many men don't know what they want, because they have become so relaxed, they have become so careless and just so lazy about putting in the work. So now the question is, if you are not putting in the work on yourself to become better, how would you now recognize a good woman when you meet one, when you find one? Because if you are not a replica or the type of person you are looking for, then chances are that you will fall for the wrong person very easily, and that is the problem. That is just the problem.
So,
men are spoiled for choice.
So in this context, how can we now help men? Because like he said, we have a lot of environments that are training the women, but we have few really, really, maybe like, you know, the likes of you now are building those kind of cantonment camps. But how can we have more room where we pull in our guys? And beyond talking finance and politics, we are also having conversations geared at preparing them for marriage. How can everybody, work towards this? Whether it's the church, the family, the society, what can we do differently to raise better men for the future?
I think one of the things we need to do is to encourage our men to really invest in themselves. That is the first thing we need to do. Just like my wife said, self-discovery. Many men don't know that they have a problem. So if you don't know that you have a problem, you will not be interested in looking for a solution. It is somebody who is aware that there is a problem and who is aware of the impact of that problem on their marriage or their lives that will want to seek help. So if you don't know that you need help, you will not seek help. So many men need to come into self-discovery, knowing who they are and knowing that they really need to double up on that. They really need to double up on that. And we really need to teach that even a lot. We really need to teach that even a lot. So it's very important. It's very important. First thing, men need to come into self-discovery. That's the first thing. Men need to come into self-discovery. The second thing is that men need to chase wisdom. Men need to chase knowledge. Men need to chase knowledge. There are a lot of men who don't think that is important. They are not chasing after knowledge. They are not chasing after wisdom. Do you know, madam, there are a lot of men who cannot submit to authority. They don't want anyone speaking over their marriage. They don't want to be submitted. So you meet an average lady meets a man who is very much keen and interested in her, but then he doesn't want to confide in anybody. He just wants a secret relationship. He just wants to do it on a low key. He doesn't want to talk to any mentor, any pastor, even parents. You have to really force it for that to happen. So you can see the kind of mindset that men who are going into marriage have. Accountability is a problem. Submitting to authority for guardians is a problem, and that's what we are talking about. Men need to know that they have so much to learn. They are not self-sufficient on themselves. The third thing men need to do is accept that they have a role to play in the success of their homes. They shouldn't relegate the functionality, the healthy functionality of their marriage to the women. Even husbands who are listening to me, many husbands have delegated their fatherhood to their wives. It is their wives that are taking care of the kids, putting them to school, putting them to bed, checking homework, making sure they are eating. But the husband is just content in the fact that he is working a 9 to 5 and is putting food on the table. That is wonderful. But if you don't put food on the table, sir, who will put food on the table for your family? It is possible to put on the table and still interested in their homework. It is possible to put food on the table and still interested in what happened to the children in their school day. It is possible to put food on the table and make sure that the devotion, the children are still praying, they are still having their devotion in the house. So this is what I'm talking about. Men need to know that it is not the job of homekeeping in the house is not the sole responsibility of the woman alone. They have a role to play as well. And if you identify and recognize that you have a role to play, you have an input in the success of your marriage, then you will try to be equipped to dispense that function. You will do your best to equip yourself to grow into the full measure of the assignment and the duty and responsibility that is demanded of you as a husband and as a father. This is what we need to do. This is one, and the fourth thing is that women as well have a role to play in helping our men. How do I mean? This is what I mean. If more women keep accepting to marry unprepared men, then the men will never be prepared to marry. If you keep saying, I will change him, he will change, I will manage him, and because of peer pressure, age in numbers pressure, parental pressure to get married, societal pressure, you just want to marry any Tom, Dick, and Harry, anybody that just comes, let's just marry. If more women begin to stand on their principles and their protocols and say, this is what I want, this is the standard, and I won't go below it, more men would do their best to rise to the standard that the women are setting.
Wow.
That's the problem. More women have lowered their standard so low that the men see no need to improve. You can imagine, if you started having premarital sex with a man who hasn't married you yet, how do you want him to improve his discipline and values? If you have served the cake already,
That's right.
so what's the point? How would you want him to improve? If you're already making love during a courtship and relationship, he won't try to invest in himself to become better because you've reduced the standard. You've dropped it so low that there is no point for any man to rise.
Wow. So a lot more women need to learn to say no to get better yeses. It's just it's
exactly.
just a major issue. Wow. Okay, so we'll take a quick breather so that all of the things we have said can sink in. And in just a moment, we'll be right back to conclude on the conversation this evening. I know that you have been having, quality time with the conversation for today. Let's take a quick break, and when we return, Connect continues. Stay with us.
When it comes to parenting, suspect everybody. Suspect the person taking care of the child, suspect the teacher in school, suspect all those that have access. You see, the moment you stop being suspicious, you are lowering your guard. Sometimes just break into, the place where maybe the nanny, the school, check. Permit me to use this word. There are funny people out there who will do many things to children. Let me share this with you. There was a boy. He has been expelled from 3 schools at that age. All right, so what he does is that when girls are leaving the class, going to the toilet to ease themselves, he'll follow them. Then he'll start touching their genitals. Some of them are bold enough to come back to report. Sometimes the teachers will catch him, then they will expel him. And the teachers were complaining that even if you are flogging this boy, as you are flogging him, you will notice that your money is missing. Yes, right there. He's become so much of an expert that Before you are done, your money is gone. He will remove the money. All right, and he won't cry. In this case, what is going on? I have this, that. Let me handle this boy's case. So I went to his house to see his parents. When I got to the house, I knocked. Nobody was answering. I knocked, so I saw that the door was not locked. So I opened. The family I knew. So I opened. Then I met the boy. I met the two elder brothers seated, and in front of them a large television where they were watching pornography. Any work that takes you away from your children has taken too much from you.
Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. Of course, they're still connected to Connect, live on Spectrum Television, beaming live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Great conversation that we are having today, and a super great couple joining us. Of course, I would like to add the prefix of celebrity power couple, but they are relationship coaches, like to the teeth. We have the Cinthos joining us from Lagos this evening, and we've been having quite a strong conversation. What I'll say is that if you just joined us after the break, you need to get on YouTube and actually watch the entire video so that your relationship is saved in this 2024. Good to have you back. Thanks for being there. Great conversation that we've been having. And I want us to push, towards parenting, especially as schools have resumed, and a lot of things are happening. Even in the, in the news space, we are having diseases break out. There is mpox. There's all kinds of things. And a lot of persons from the millennials to the Gen Zs, it looks like our generation is lost as to how parenting should be done. So we are looking at, balancing love and parenting in this, in this time. You currently have 2 children. What's the journey been like? And, what are the modalities? What should we be looking out for where, parenting is concerned in this generation?
Thank you so much. I think I'll let my wife just get a head start on that, because she's been wonderful already in managing back to school.
So I think one of the things that is working for our marriages is that based on our schedule, I don't think we say this is the role of the mother or this is the role of the father. Okay, the 2 figures are important in the life of the children. And one of the best gifts we can give to our children right now, I can say, is that we are building a godly home for them. Okay. And our husband steps in when he can, because his schedule is more busy. It's more busy, and I get to take the lead for the children. But there are some practical things we do for them. We make our time for them. Even if my husband is not in town, I have my my rules and the way I want my children to grow. I want to train them in the way of the Lord, and I don't care what people are saying. So one of the things I do is that I instill the spirit of prayer in them. My 1-year-old knows how to pray. He knows how to talk, and so he knows how to pray. And before they leave school, I make sure that he prays for them. Even when daddy is not in town, we put the phone call through, the boys are ready to go to school, and he says a prayer over them, and they go. And now, all of this thing is creating an awareness in them. And one of the principal things I go with is that no schedule can take me away from my children. None. As it concerns their school life, as it concerns their godly life, as it concerns their playful life, no schedule can take me. They are my first assignments. They are.
So you don't travel without your children? You don't travel, you don't take outside engagements?
We go with them. we travel with them.
Wow.
That's how we plan. Yes. One of the conferences we have, we fix it on holiday period.
Yes.
And we travel with them.
Yes. And when it comes to the worst, when we can, what we often do is get somebody trusted
somebody we know.
Somebody we know, somebody who has been a part of the family,
Family.
even before they were born.
Yes, to come stay with them.
We
in
are
the house.
very picky about that. To come stay with them in the house. Do we have people in the house? Yes.
Yes.
We are counselors, we are pastors as well. We have about 3 people living in our apartment. Can we not trust them with the children? Yes, we can. But we know how important, just like Apostle Pamela was speaking, that if you are too busy for your children, the enemy are taking far more than you can give. Okay, so we always bring someone else, someone who is even married, because the people stay with us are not married. So we bring in somebody else who is even married, who deal with the children with a hand of a married person with maturity, and give instructions to the others. So it's very key. So when it comes to it, where we can absolutely travel with them, we often get somebody to come into the house and sit. And then we are conscious. My wife will never let me sleep, will never let me rest. 2 seconds in our conference, she's texting and calling home. At that time, I want to hear them. Me as a husband, I'm trying my best. I'm trying to be involved. I'm trying everything. Take, for instance, this morning, my wife had to wake me up to come with the children. So I helped as well. Greeted the children, got them ready for school, dressed them up. I even took them to school. And then, for drop off, for pick up, my wife went and picked them up. So it is a collective responsibility of the parents, not just one wife or one husband. It is a collective responsibility. We have to protect our children because they are carrying the heritage that God has called you to leave behind. No other person will carry it. It's your children, and children can easily be perverted, very easily by friends, by influences, sometimes even by teachers. I tell you, sometimes even by teachers. If you are not careful to know who are your children's teachers, it is also important. If you can, even get close to them, get their phone numbers, add them up so you can see what they are posting on WhatsApp. I once had a case like that. My wife and I, we are counselors. We've been counseling for the past 10 years. So we can tell you for a fact, counseling situations that will leave you breathless when it comes to parenting and children. So particular children's teacher was handling, in this particular parent school. And then, very nice, even the way she dresses is wonderful, when you are a soldier in the camp, in the barracks, you won't dress like a pastor, right? You will dress like a soldier. But even when you are a pastor in the barracks, you have to still dress like a soldier, not as a pastor. I'm just trying to give some context and clarity there. So in school, she's a teacher, well dressed, spoken, and all of that. But I don't know what happened. The child fell sick one day, and then they were trying to reach the parents with the school phone, and it wasn't connecting, and it was an emergency. So the teacher used her phone to call the parents. And then, long story cut short, that was how the parent had access to her personal phone number, because it's against the school protocol to have access to any teacher's personal number. And then guess what? The parents started saying, it was the husband telling me that what he was seeing on this teacher's WhatsApp status was abominable. Pictures and videos of her in the club, almost stripping, and even on a Sunday. So after getting out of the club on Sunday and, smoking a matter of things, come, interact with the children, come, pass on. And, people are not just people. People are spirits. They are spirits, not just people. And he got so scared, showed it to the wife. The wife almost ran mad. And, when a teacher, not even a teacher, anyone, any caregiver is interacting with your words on a regular basis, they are not just teaching your child. This is something that we need. A lot of parents need to have. We need to have more conferences on parental patterns, so that parents can know this. They are not just teaching your child A, B, C, D. That is what you can see. They are teaching. You are inculcating into your children other values that cannot be seen with the naked eye. I'm telling you, cannot be seen. They are impacting spirits. They are impacting patterns. They are impacting the Lord. It may not be just direct and straight, but then on constant, relationship and interaction, things are being transferred and he cannot see. They had to, he had to lay, that parent had to really complain to the school and eventually pull the child out of there, So this is what I'm saying. It is very important to get involved in your children. Know what is happening. Know what is happening. Attend PTA meetings. Not even at school, even in the church. Madam, it may not shock you because I'm sure that you've heard all manner of case scenarios. But even in the Christian circles, let's just go there for a minute. Even in the Christian circles, even in what we call the Sunday schools, you never can tell the masturbator who is handling your child. You never can tell the rapist because the church is a hospital. People are recovering from all manner of things. You never can tell the pornographer who is still managing between his lifestyle and and then you never can tell. So parents now, even in the Christian circle, I tell you, parents now have relegated their parental duties, caregiving to the child, spiritual caregiving, even to Sunday school teachers. So this is what parents should really look into. Very important. Yeah.
Wow. These are strong things that parents should be hearing. So teachers are imparting more than academic knowledge to the children. So you must be careful. Yeah. Wow, that's very serious. How many parents are careful to be that observant? But another key, concern in raising children in this generation is the generational shifts that we have seen. All of the changes that every generation comes with. So we are having lots of talks about Gen Zs, their way of reasoning, the way they talk, the way they act. And sometimes you'll be hearing, when we were raised, there was a lot of, train up a child in the way that they should go, spare the rod and spoil the child. But it looks like techniques have come under a lot of scrutiny for raising new generation children. So how would you say that we should balance discipline and love in raising, the Gen Zs and the Generation Alphas that we currently have? What's it like for raising these children?
Maybe you want to take that one. I think the first thing you need to have solid boundaries and principles as a parent.
And one of the things I want to say is that don't feel your children are just children. That there is this thing that a child does to you. They are loving creatures, like their meekness, their gentleness, and all of that. And then there's a friend I was working somewhere, and I think this boy was 3 already. And someone asked, "Can't you say good morning?" And the mother said, "Don't disturb my son. He's just a child." So we just start saying he's just a child. He's just a child. And he's just a child. He's growing up to become a teenager. He's growing up to become an adult. The Bible says, train up a child. It is children that need training. There are stages in parenting that most times what our parents did then was that what most parents are losing is that they refuse to train a child and then they are trying to make an adult. That's where the mistake comes from. Okay? Set boundaries. It is okay because we're in Gen Z that your children should have phones. Set boundaries. Set boundaries. Most people just feel that, okay, this is a way of me providing for my child. But it's actually a means of you spoiling your kid. My 3-year-old can operate a phone. And because of that, there was a time where, this Coco Melon cartoon thing, and something happened. He now went into another cartoon. I think they were talking about Halloween. And I didn't like the sound I was hearing. And then I went to him and I saw what he was watching. He was watching Halloween with different creatures and all of that. And I told my husband no. And my husband said, from today, no more phones. Any cartoon you want to watch it on TV. Set the boundaries. Let them cry. You don't hate them. You love them. You love them. Set it. Kiss them, play with them, love them. Give them the things that are of their age.
Yeah, age appropriate content.
Especially a girl child. I see a whole lot of wrong going on today. You want to show that you have money. A girl child is wearing a frontal. with expensive wigs. A girl child, most schools are allowing girl children to paint their nails. They're allowing girl children to, yes, to do makeup.
You're not letting children be children. You're not
Let
letting
the
them
children be
grow according to
children.
their process.
Let the students, what is, you say, okay, we're now in 2024, things are changing, leave that biopic mindset, but actually this is what is spoiling our kids. And we have to stand out. We have to be different. We want to give our children the best. But I assure you, even if I have the 1 million naira to pay for that school fee, if I don't see an outcome of godliness, he goes not there. He won't attend. Because I know that in 24 hours in a day, your child is spending close to 12 hours, if not more, 15 hours, if not more, in school. And that is another environment that is speaking to that child. So we don't have to lose guard. We don't have to say, okay, because this is the generation we are, let's just allow them be, let's give them what their mates are having. No.
I mean, parents are not parents. Most parents are not really trying. Go to a 5-year-old child's birthday party. You think it's a 50-year-old child.
Yes.
They are smoking all manner of things in the background.
Parents are clapping. They are clapping to seductive dances going on to a 5-year-old girl.
It's a competition.
That is competition.
So they are doing dance competition. A 6-year-old boy is behind, standing at the
back of a little girl.
And the little girl is whining.
And parents are clapping.
And it is growth for them. It is advancement for them. It is maturity. They are happy that their child can sing all manner of songs from Beyonce and the like. And they are happy about that. But then such parents are the ones who often cry when it is time to reap the word of their harvest. That is the problem. It's not a problem, throwing a party. You throw a party, but then throwing such parties for your children where you should be, inculcating strong moral values over them is like you're already planning how your funeral is going to be when they come of age.
Wow.
That's the truth.
These are serious things. These are really serious things that you're saying this evening. And unfortunately, our 1 hour is up. So, but I'm going to ask, if each of you were to give an advice to parents, what would that particular advice be?
Okay, let me go first.
Okay.
I'll start by saying, first love you can give to your child is Christ. I know you want to give the child best education. You want to give the child the best of the life. But that best of life will be useless without a good foundation in Christ. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he would not depart.
That's right.
And then I hear people saying, oh, most parents train people in the way they should go, and the devil told them, do it first. Let's come up to a point where we have to say, my child will be trained in the way of the Lord.
That's right.
Parents, there is work to do.
So much.
These are not the days for, I know TikTok is here. I know everything is here. But these are not the days where we should live by social media. Do not hand over your child to social media. You are your child's first pastor. You are your child's first mentor. You are your child's first everything.
First teacher, first social media.
Everything.
They should get to see it in you.
Everything. They should get to see it in you before. We have work to do. I know bills are piling up and all of that. You want to go to work, you want to provide for them. But please, I beg you, in the name of God.
Train up your child on the way God. Give them
Christ.
Christ. That is the greatest inheritance. Give them God. Show them God. Let them grow up to make their own decisions and find their own path. But if you're giving them enough of God, they will stay on the track of God. So even when they come of age, they won't make decisions outside of the principles and is good, securing an estate for them is good as well. But all your effort, all your labor will come crumbling if you don't give them discipline. So that is my advice in addition to my life.
Very key.
Discipline.
Oh my God, that's very key. I think it's been such an intense class. This is like a free you know, the Cinthos training for the rest of us in the world. So it's a loud thank you from our viewers all over the nation and parts of Africa this evening, saying thank you for this great teaching. But we like to do something on Connect. So just before you go, I'd love for you to say something nice to each other, a word of gratitude, a word of admiration. You too, just give us a bit of what's that thing we talked about at the beginning. Happy marriages in public, please. Let's go.
Okay. Who goes first?
Let him go.
Let him go. I stand with the women.
Ladies first, no longer work on this one.
Nah.
That's why I love you, babe. I love you, baby. You're the sugar, my tea, you're the butter, my bread. You're everything.
I don't want that life.
What time do you want?
We are not that life.
I do that. Okay, 6 saves the clock.
Sick.
I love you. You're the best woman, best wife, best mother, any man, any husband can ever ask for. You are incredibly awesome, and I love you so much.
Okay, let me say right. Thank you for being a cover. Thank you for always being available. And you put us first, and I see it. Thank you for being my husband. So, and thank you for understanding me all the way. I know the best is yet to come.
Oh my goodness. I think all I can say is a word is enough for the wise. All you have said today, a word is enough for the wise. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Apostle and Apostle Mrs. Pastor and Pastor Mrs. Coach and Coach Mrs. Alison Hyacinth for coming on Connect today. It's been such a great time having you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, absolutely. Well, great show that we have had today. We can't say enough thank you to our guests today because we touched on everything. Quality, value for your time. Please do well to go on the social media handles, interact with today's content, send your questions. If you beg me very well, I might bring them back next time, you know. You'll see the full video on our YouTube handle at Spectrum Television, and you'll be able to sit with this episode again. But thank you so much for choosing Spectrum Television, and thank you for being a part of the Connect family. Until return, same time next week. My name remains Uyai MM. Good night.